the avant-garde scene in the North America at that time was in Buffalo. And I mean, there was also in New York, but it was almost less visible in New York. In Buffalo, it was the scene. In New York, it was part of the scene. And so it was more concentrated in Buffalo. So being a little insecure, when I got to Cranbrook, I quickly wanted to show off how far out I could be. And so I'd gone all off on this cockamamie notion of, you know, being with it. And, you know, up to the last minute. And so here I am sitting in this thing, and here's Jack Bush talking to me, and the lights turn on, and it's like, oh. So the next day he comes around, and I was painting at the time shaped canvases, but they were shaped like women's thighs, and the big vinyl tubes running through them that I had to stitch together, and some silk screen going on over here, and, you know, with spray paint, but I mean out of cans, and, you know, it just a mix-mash, hodgepodge, kind of Rosenquist, kind of Rauschenberg, kind of everything, you know, throw it in a big... Anyhow, that's what I was doing. And so he comes around, and I can hardly wait. So he comes by the door, and I pull him in. I says, yes, I do want to talk to you. I can hardly wait. And he kind of walked through the studio, and he walked over to the window. It's on the far side of the studio. He's looking out the window. And I said, well, and I try to direct him to my art. And I said, well, so, and he's, well, I'm a painter. You know, and you seem to be an idea man, and I don't know about these ideas. I know about painting, but I don't see how that relates to what you're doing. So I don't know what help I can be. And I just said, oh, well, let me tell you, I heard you talk. I saw the paintings. I want to get to where you are. How do I do it? He says, well, take a piece of canvas. You know, when you tear it off the bulb, he says, it's a rectangle. So start there. He says, start there, and then just paint. Go in the woodshed. In jazz, they call it woodshedding. Go in the woodshed. You don't know how, and don't ask yourself any questions. Just do it. Just keep doing it, and keep doing it, and doing it, and doing it, and doing it. Don't, just set them aside. Don't even judge them. Don't look at them. Just do it. And eventually, something's going to emerge. And then you'll be on your way. So I took his advice, and I started painting again, as I had been when I started undergraduate school, but had gotten away from as I'd gotten smarter. And so then Jack, however, had never taught, so he didn't know how students can eat you up. And he worked conscientiously and hard, and never said never, and never said die, and never said quit. And the students just all hours of the night and day, and worked him to death. And he got home, and he was sick, and he was tired, and he was exhausted, and he was just, why did I do that? And he's talking to his friend Jules Zalitsky, who says, hey, I'm going next. How did it go? Oh, you know, they wore me out. Jules says, well, hell with that, I'm not going. So he canceled. So that, then the powers that be at Cranbrook calls up Greenberg and said, hey, your guy bailed on us. So Greenberg came in his place. And so another fortuitous little turn of events.